In 1978, Michael Jordan failed to make his high school's basketball varsity team. Far from letting this stop him, the sophomore turned this setback into a learning opportunity and, through goal setting, moved on to become the star of the junior team, and arguably the greatest player the game, or any sports for that matter, has ever seen. In his book, I Can't Accept Not Trying, the Chicago Bulls hero wrote, "I had always set short-term goals. As I look back, each one of those steps or successes led to the next one. When I got cut from the varsity team as a sophomore in high school, I learned something. I knew I never wanted to feel that bad again. So I set a goal of becoming a starter on the varsity. That's what I focused on all summer. When I worked on my game, that's what I thought about. When it happened, I set another goal, a reasonable, manageable goal that I could realistically achieve if I worked hard enough. Each time I visualized where I wanted to be, what kind of player I wanted to become. I guess I approached it with the end in mind. I knew exactly where I wanted to go, and I focused on getting there." There is no questioning the effectiveness of goal setting. As great as they are, the promises of goal-setting theory have been consistently supported both in psychological research and in real-life practice, from professional sports to the corporate world, clinical psychology, and so forth. And yet, it is many teachers' experience that goal setting does not really work with students. How can we reconcile the two? And more importantly, how can we ensure our students benefit from the promises and proven potential of goal setting? To answer this question, we first need to understand what the benefits of goal setting are, and where they stem from. From there, we can explain why it often fails to deliver in the educational context, and finally derive the do's and don'ts of effective student goal setting, a cheat sheet of best practices that make goal setting work for our students. As we saw with Michael Jordan, setting a goal means anchoring one's thoughts and actions in a particular version of the future that we want to make a reality. And as simple as it seems, there are many powerful reasons why this can help people develop their competence and improve their performance. These have been extensively researched by goal-setting theory, but a key idea is that setting goals enhances motivation. Picture a student. Even without a goal, they might be following the class and completing the activities. But they are merely following, going through the motions as their teacher's guides, paces, and drives their learning. Once they set a goal, however, a number of things happen. First, they have a horizon to focus on. They are now working towards something. Their learning not only has meaning, but also an endpoint, even if it is just a milestone. Sprinters and long-distance runners alike experience a sense of energy when they can see the finish line. Second, in addition to effort, goal setting also leads to persistence, because clear and explicit objectives keep us accountable, especially when they come with checkpoints. When the going gets hard, it is even harder to keep going if you have no specific purpose to begin with. Third, this is all the more true because setting goals also reframes the work as something we do for ourselves. Be it in a classroom or in a company, people are simply more driven when they feel like they will be the ones benefiting from their efforts, and when these efforts come with a sense of autonomy and control over one's actions and outcomes. As such, and finally, goal setting creates a combination of self-competition and psychological safety, where people are likely to rise to the challenge because they are only comparing themselves to themselves, and get to choose a level of difficulty that is a perfect match for their needs and resources. But motivation is only half of the story. The other half is inventivity and experimentation. Having to reach a goal that lies beyond our current abilities, we need to try and find new approaches, techniques, and behaviors that can get us there. This will likely be an iterative process, not a linear one, so motivation is key to our resilience. But it is these repeated trials that are source of progress. If we are motivated but not adaptive, chasing dreams might be little more than building castles in the sky. Taken together, motivation and experimentation generate this state called flow, where we are hard at work and stretched to the max, yet enjoying ourselves, because we are also focused and absorbed, fully engaged. Flow is what it feels like to be in our zone of proximal development, so there is no wonder goal setting can increase competence and performance. But there is more. As we pursue and reach our goals and become better at whatever we set out to work on, we also develop a number of incidental, but crucially important qualities. First, we improve our capacity to diagnose our areas of growth, as well as our ability to problem solve, regulate our emotions, and manage our time. Second, we naturally develop a growth mindset, a belief in our ability to improve over time through hard work and dedication. Finally, and maybe most importantly, it leads us, and especially students, to take our own fate into our own hands. It helps us become both more responsible and confident. All transferable qualities that are critical to a successful life journey. As such, goal setting is particularly helpful to students who are lacking in self-directedness, often the ones who struggle academically as well. And it can also be the incentive needed for high achievers to extend their learning. In a nutshell, goal setting is so promising because it includes two of the three ingredients of intrinsic motivation: autonomy and productive struggle. But what about the third one? What about connectedness? Is this missing ingredient the reason why, despite sounding so great, goal setting often fails to deliver in schools? That will be the topic of our next video.